Hello students. Today's GMAT series first question is if R and S are positive integers such that 2 raised to power R, 4 raised to power S is equal to 16, then 2R plus S is. See, 4 is also a multiple of 2, 16 is also a multiple of 2. So we will try to make the bases equal. 2 raised to power R, this can be written as 2 square raised to power S, and 16 is basically 2 raised to power 4. So 16 is 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. 2 to the 4 to the 8 to the 16. Now 2 raised to power R dot 2 raised to power 2S equal to 2 raised to power 4. Now here we can use the principle of exponents and indices. I made a separate video for that. So when bases are same, then powers get added. So this will be, let us suppose we have a raised to power m dot a raised to power n in multiplication. So this will be a raised to power m plus n. So same, it will become 2 raised to power r plus 2s equal to 2 raised to power 4. Now in equality, when bases are same, then powers can be equated. So r plus 2s should be equal to 4. But in question you have been asked 2r plus s, not 2s plus r. So you have been asked this. Now if we do some later analysis on this equation, given that r and s are positive integers, r and s are positive integers, so s can take a value less than 2. It can't take the value greater than or equal to 2. Why? If we put the value of s as 2, let us suppose we put the value of s as 2, this becomes r is equal to 4 and then r will become 0. But we have been given that r and s are positive integers. So in that case, we can only put the value of s as equal to 1. Right? But as if we put the value of s equal to 3, then it will become r plus 2 into 3 is 6 equal to 4. So r will become 4 minus 6 minus 2. So this will be discarded. So we can have the value of s equal to 1 only. So in that case, r will be r plus 2 would be equal to 4 and r will be having value 2. S can have value 1 only, provided the conditions given to us. So now r equal to 2, putting this into this equation, 2 into 2 plus 1 will be equal to 4 plus 1, 5. So the only possible value of this 2r plus s is option D, 5. 3 people each contributed X dollars towards the purchase of a car. Then they bought the car for Y dollars, an amount less than the total number of dollars contributed. If the excess amount is to be refunded to the 3 people in equal amounts, each person should receive a fund of how many dollars? See, it's a very easy question. Now 3 people contributed X dollars. So each contributed X dollars towards the purchase of a car. So total contribution is 3X. Right? So they purchase a car for Y dollars, an amount which is less than the total. So the amount left will be 3X minus Y. Now this amount has to be distributed equally in the 3 people. So this will be divided by 3. So examiner wants that you must convert this statement into a equation. So the right option is 3x minus y divided by 3. The right option is option A. Now let us suppose that they contributed $12 each. Right? Now, total contribution will be 3 into 12. Fine. And let us suppose they purchased it for $28. The car purchased in was from $28. So we will minus this divided by 3. So this is 36 minus 28 divided by 3. So this will be 8 by $3. $8 by $3 will be paid back to individual person. So option A is the right answer. Last week, Jack worked 70 hours and earned $1,260. If he earned his regular hourly wage for the first 40 hours worked, 3 by 2 times his hourly wage for the next 20 hours worked, and 2 times his regular hourly wage for the remaining 10 hours worked, what was his regular hourly wage? Now, let us suppose his regular hourly wage is X. So, if he earned regular hourly wage for the first 40 hours he worked, so that will be 40 multiplied by X plus 3 by 2 times his regular hourly wage for the next 20 hours. So that will be 3 by 2 multiplied by how many hours he worked? 20 hours plus 2 times his regular, here it will be X, 2X. 2 times his regular hourly wage is X. So 2 times regular hourly wage will be 2X multiplied by the number of hours is 10. So after working this, he earns $1,260. So this is the equation. So 40X plus this will be 30X plus 20X is equal to $1,260. So this is 90X. 90X is equal to $1,260, or X will be equal to $1,260 divided by 90. 0 0 gets cancelled. 9 1s are 9, 36 3 remainder 36, so 14. So x is equal to $14. So his regular hourly wage is $14. Option B is the right answer. So you must be able to transfer the statements given into the form of an equation by giving an unknown a variable. If a and b are positive integers and 2 raised power a bracket hold b is equal to 2 raised power 3, what is the value of 2 raised power a multiplied by 2 raised power b? So basically we need to find the value of 2 raised power a. 2 raised power b is basically same powers can be added, 2 raised power a plus b. Now we are given that 2 raised power a multiplied by b, because exponent law says that if a raised power m raised power n is given, so that is basically equal to a raised power mn. I made a separate video on exponents analysis regarding its rules. Now 2 raised power ab is equal to 2 raised power 3. When bases are same, then powers can be equated. So ab is equal to 3. Now we need to find a plus b. See, since we are given that a and b are positive integers, right? So we can take, there will be two cases from this. That a should have value 1 and b will be having value 3, or a can have value 3 and b can have value 1. Right? These are the only two possibilities through which the product of a and b can give us the value 3. And we need to find the value of a and b. If we see, a plus b from both the cases will give us the value of 4. So that means we need to find 2 raised power 4, which is basically equal to 16. So your right option for this case is option C. See, in GMAT, you must try to find out all the options, and GMAT tries to lure you that if you think there is only one option, you must try that if from all the options possible, the value should come common, or if there are coming different values, you must try for each and every value. Right? 5 machines at a certain factory operate at same constant rate. If 4 of these machines operating simultaneously take 30 hours to fill a certain production order, how many fewer hours, see, fewer has been underlined, hours does it take all 5 machines operating simultaneously to fill the same production order? So 4 machines in all take 4 multiplied by 30 is the total amount of work they will do. Now, on the other side, now 5 machines are working, and let us suppose they take x hours. Right? So x will be equal to 4.30 divided by 5. So this is basically 24. So now, if 5 machines work simultaneously, they will do 24 hours work each machine. Right? Now, the question has asked us how many fewer hours, not 24 hours. See, this is an option over here. The other options will always be the most probable options which you can take. But he has asked you how many fewer hours. So that will be 30 minus 24. So that is 30 minus 24 equal to 6 hours. So each machine will take 6 hours less. So that right option is option number C. A certain toll on a highway has 7 toll booths, and each toll booth collects $0.75 from each vehicle that passes. From 6 o'clock yesterday morning to 12 o'clock midnight, vehicle passed each of the toll booths at the average of 4 vehicles per minute. Approximately how much money did the toll station collect during that same period? Highway has 7 toll booths, right? Multiplied by each toll booth collects $0.75. Right? This can be written in the form of ratio as 3 by 4. So this is basically 7 into 3 by 4. Now, 6 o'clock yesterday morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, or we can say 6 a.m. to 12 o'clock in the midnight. Right? So from this to 6 p.m. it will be 12 hours. 6 p.m. to 12, 6 hours. Total it will be 18 hours. Right? Now it says that vehicle passed each of the toll booths at an average of 4 vehicles per minute. So in 1 minute, how many vehicles are passing? That is 4. So in 60 minutes it will be 60 into 4. And for 18 hours, so 60 minutes is 1 hour. 60 minutes is 1 hour. For 18 hours, it will be 60 into 4 into 18 hours. Total number of vehicles. Now each vehicle is giving this toll. So we need to multiply it 7 into 3 by 4 into 60 into 4 into 80. 4 and 4 gets cancelled. So this will be 7 3 21. 21 into 6. 21 into 6 is 20 plus 1 multiplied by 6. So this is 180 plus 20 into 6 is 120 plus 6. 126 multiplied by 18. So multiply it 126 into 80. 86, 48, 8 to 16, 420. So this will be 818. So 1008. So this will be 6, 2 and 1. This will be 8, 6, 8, 6, 2 and 1. So this is 7 3 21. 21 into 6 is 126. So this is basically having 1 0 1 2 6 0. So this will be 1 2 6 into 18 is 1 2 6. So this is 2 2 6 8 6 8 0. $22,680 are being taken in this time period. So we need to find the approximate value. So 22,680 is nearest to $23,000. So by approximation, we can say that option D is the right answer. How many integers between 1 and 16 inclusive? Inclusive means that the range, let us suppose the integers, the range for this is x greater than equal to 1 and less than equal to 16. 1 and 16 are included. Have exactly 3 different positive integer factors. Note, 6 is not such an integer because 6 has 4 different positive integer factors, 1, 2, 3 and 6. So he has given an example also. So let us consider the first integer 1. So it is having only one positive integer and that is 1 itself. 1 itself. So 1 can't be considered in this category. Now as we see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we know that prime numbers have exactly 2 factors and those 2 factors are one is number 1 and one is number itself. Right? We know that the first prime number which is even also is 2. Next prime number is 3. Next is 5. Then is 7. Then is 11 and 13. Right? So these prime factors can't be counted because they are all having 2 positive integer factors, right? Since these are prime numbers. Now, what numbers are left? One is not in this category, 2, 3. We'll consider 4, 6, 8, 9. That is 12, 14, 15 and 16. Now, 4 is having, one is 1, the next is 2 and then very next is 4. 6 we have been already given example to 1, 2, 3, 6 are its factors. For 8 the factors are 1, 2, 4, 8. For 9 these are 1, 3 and 9. For 12 that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 12. For 14 1, 2, 3 is not its factor, not 4, 5, 7 and then 14. For 15 that is 1, 3, 5 and 15. For 16 it would be 1, 2, 4, 8 and 16. Now if you see only 2 numbers, integers 4 and 9 are having exactly 3 different positive integer factors. Now how is this happening? See, we know that to find the number of factors, we prime factorize it and then we write it in the form 2 raised to power m 2 raised to power a multiplied by 3 raised to power b and then further 5 raised to power c, or we break it into prime factorization. Then the number of factors equal to a plus 1 multiplied by b plus 1 multiplied by c plus 1 and so on. So we know that perfect squares, only perfect squares have odd number of factors, right? But 1 to 16 we are having 3 perfect squares, that is 4, 9 and 16, right? But we need to find, in this case basically this question boils down to the fact that how many perfect squares are made from prime numbers. This question basically want that how many integers between 1 and 16 are perfect squares which are derived from prime numbers. So that is basically, this is from 2 and this is from 3. Since 16 is also a perfect square, but it has been derived from 4, which is not a prime number. So there are only 2 integers which are having between 1 and 16 inclusive, which are having exactly 3 different positive integer factors. So which one will be the right answer? That will be the option B. This what I did is the analysis of this question, but the real what is the question asking is to find the perfect squares derived from prime numbers in this case, and that is from 4 to 9. Since 16 is also a perfect square, but it is derived from 4, which is not a prime number, so it is having odd number of factors but not exactly 3 different factors. Stephanie has 2 1/4 cups of milk on hand and makes 2 batches of cookies using 2/3 cup of milk for each batch of cookies. Which of the following describes the amount of milk remaining after she makes the cookies? See, Stephanie has 2 1/4 cups of milk on hand and she makes 2 batches of cookies using 2/3 cup of milk for each batch. So total she used milk will be 2 multiplied by 2/3, which is 4/3. Now, which of the following describes the amount of milk remaining? So remaining will be, so this is mixed fraction, so this will be 4 into 2 plus 1, 9/4. 9/4 minus the amount of milk she used will be equal to the amount of milk left. So LCM is 12. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So 9 into 3 is 27. Minus 12 divided by 3 is 4. 4 into 4 is 16. So this will be 11 by 12. So this is the amount of milk which has been left. Now you have been asked to find in which category this falls, the amount of milk left. 11 by 12, if you see it closely, it is 11, 12, put one point over here, 110. So this will be 0.9, 108, then it will be 2, 0. So it is basically 0.91. Or without division, you can also see that it is, the numerator is close to this. So it will be having value. As I increase one more value in the numerator, so this will be 12 by 12 equal to 1. So it is somewhat near to 1 and it is exactly 0.91. Now, less than 1 by 2 cup, that means less than 0.5. So it is not the option. Now the second option, 1 by 2 and 3 by 4. So this is basically 0.52. 3 by 4 is 0.75. So it is also not falling in this category. So option B is also discarded. Option C, 3 by 4 and 1 cup. So this is basically 0.75 to 1. So you see this is falling in this category. So option C is the right answer. We will go for the other options also. Between 1 cup and 1 and 3 by 2 is 1.5. So it is not falling in this category. And the last option is more than, so that is greater than 1.5. So it is not falling in this option. So the right option is option number C. The expression n factorial is defined as the product of integers from 1 through n. If p is the product of integers from 100 through 299 and q is the product of integers from 200 through 299, which of the following is equal to p by q? See, we know that a factorial, single factorial is equal to, let us suppose this is n factorial, this will be n multiplied by n minus 1 multiplied by n minus 2, so on up to it is reduced to 1. Let us suppose we have 6 factorial. So this is equal to basically 6 into 5 into 4, so on up to unless it has reached 1. Right? Now, p is the product of integers from 100 through 299. So it would be basically 299 multiplied by 298, so on up to 100. So you see that it is not moving up to 1. Now q is equal to product of integers from 299 to 298, so on through 200. And you have been asked what is this ratio equal to. Right? So basically 298 to 98, 297 to, so it will move on and then it will reach somewhere to 200 value, and then it will be 199 into 198 and so on up to this. So up to 200 part, this and this would get cancelled. Right? So you would be basically left with 199 multiplied by 198 multiplied by so on up to 100. So this is what p by q is giving to us. Now you have to evaluate all the options. Now to evaluate the option, I would try to explain it to you with an example. Let us suppose we have been asked, one is 11 factorial. Right? And now you have been asked what is the product from 11 to 10 into 9 into 8. Right? So in terms of factorial, you can write it in the form of 11 factorial, but this is up to 8. So 1 factorial less than this. So this will be divided by 7 factorial. Now I will solve it for you. 11 into 10 into 9 into 8 into, you can write this as 7 factorial. Right? Divide it by 7 factorial. So you would be having this product. Now in this case it is up to 100. So this will be basically 199 factorial, which goes up to 1. But you have to stop at 100. So you would be dividing it by 99 factorial, so as to all the multiples beyond this up to 1 should get cancelled. So the right option is 199 factorial upon 99 factorial. So the correct option will be option number C is the right option. So whenever you are asked in a question in the terms of product and you have to answer it in terms of factorial, so what will we do? The highest number over here, its factorial, and up to the reach, the product up to where it is required, divide the factorial with one number less than that, so as to get all those products getting cancelled. A school club plans to package and sell dried fruit to raise money. The club purchased 12 containers of dried fruit, each containing 16 3 by 4. So what is 16 3 by 4? 16 2s are 32. 16 4s are 64. 64 plus 3 is 67 by 4 pounds. What is the maximum number of individual bags of dried fruit, each containing 1 by 4 pounds, that can be sold from the dried fruit the club purchased? So each container contains 67 by 4 pounds multiplied by 12 containers, you will be getting the total weight of the dried fruits. Now this will be equal to 67 into 3. So this is basically 60 plus 7 multiplied by 3. Now you should start doing it in mind. 60 into 3 is 180 plus 21. So this is basically 201 pounds. Now the packaging is of 1 by 4 pounds. So this will be 201 divided by 1 by 4. So this is 201 into 4. 4. So this is 200 into 4 is 800 plus 4 into 1 is 4. So this will be 804. What is the maximum number of individuals? So these are 804 bags. Is the right answer. Option E is the right. A nursery sells fruit trees priced as shown in the chart above. In its inventory, the 54 trees are less than 5 feet in its height. If the expected revenue from the sale of its entire stock is estimated as at $2,450, approximately how much of this will come from the sale of trees that are at least 5 feet tall? Now, from the table we see that less than 5 feet trees have been priced at 14.95. 5 feet to 6 feet 17.95 and over 6 feet is 21.95. So nursery sells it in its inventory 54 trees are less than 5 feet in height. If the expected revenue from the sale of its entire stock is estimated to at 2450, approximately how much trees will fall which are at least 5 feet tall means that is greater than 5 feet. Right? Greater than 5 feet means at least they are 5 feet tall. So you need to find this for this data. Now less than 5 feet 14.95 and 54 trees are less than. So first of all we will multiply 54 into 14.95. Moving this now 1495 multiplied by 54. 5 4 20, 9 4 36, 8 4 4 16. So this will be 19 9 4 1. So 5 5 5 25, 9 5 45, 7 4 5 4 20 24. So this will be 5 1 7. Fine. 0 13 9 10 and 7 5 4 9 10 0. This is 8. So 80730 divided by 100 will be equal to $807.30. So this is the amount revenue generated by selling trees less than 5 feet. Now it has asked us, the examiner has asked us for these two categories. So that would come by subtracting this amount from 2450 minus 807.30. So 2450.00 minus 807.30. So this will be 0 7 9 7. Here it will be 9 2. Next will be 4. Now this is 3. So this will be 24 minus 8 $1642.70 to be precise. Now he has asked us approximately, so we will look for the options which is close to this. So option B $1640 is the nearest one. So we will go for option B. Or you can do approximation also in this case. Let us suppose you remove this 0.30, so you will subtract 2450 and 807. So this will be 3 4 24, this 1643. So you can remove this part also if you are good at approximation, even though approximation, since the options are much far from each other. A certain bridge is 4024 feet long approximately. See, wherever in GMAT approximately comes, that means the options which you will calculate might be in decimal values, then you have to approximate, as you have seen in the previous questions also. How many minutes does it take to cross this bridge at a constant speed of 20 miles per hour? So this is basically a question of unit conversion. Now see, this is in miles and you have been given 1 mile is equal to 5280 feet. So this is 4024 feet. So I will explain you in detail. Now either you change this into feet or you change this into miles. So I will be changing 4024 feet into miles. Now 1 mile is equal to 5280 feet. Right? So 1 feet will be equal to 1 divided by 5280. Right? Now we need to calculate for 4024 feet. So 4024 feet will be equal to 4024 divided by 5280 miles. Right? So now we know that speed is equal to distance upon time, and you have been asked to find the time in minutes. So this is in per hour. We have changed this to miles, but we have changed this into this hour. We need to change it to minutes. So from here, time will be equal to distance upon speed. So your distance is basically this number of miles. So 4024 divided by 5280. Now speed is 20 miles per hour. This is also in miles. So I will write 20 per hour. So that is 20 miles per hour. That is hour in the denominator. So this will be 20 divided by 60 minutes. So this will be in numerator. You will write 60. Now this gets cancelled. 2, 3, 5, 2, 7, 7 and 8, 15. So this is the divisibility check for 3 by adding the digits. If the sum of digits is divisible by 3, then the whole number is divisible. So this is 5 plus 2, 7. 7 plus 8 is 15. So this this is divisible by 3. So this will be 3 1 1 22 7 18 6 and this is 1760. Now we are left with 4024 divided by 1760. We will try to approximate it. Since both are even, so this is 2012 and this will be 8 1 remainder 16 880. This can be further broken down. So dividing it by 2, 1006 and this will be 440. Further it can be broken down. So this is 503 divided by 240. Sorry, 220 with 2. Right? Now 220 multiplied by 2 is 440. But if we add 220 more, it will be having value more than 2. So it is having value between 2 point something 2. As a double of it is in 440, this value is somewhat greater than that, but less than the 3 times multiple of 220. So it will be having value between 2 and 3 and less than 2.5. As the half of 440 is 220 is 110. So 440 plus 110 is 550 and this value is less than 550. So it is less than 2.5. So by approximation, it will be round about 2. So option B is the right answer. The annual interest earned by an investment increased by 10% from last year to this year. If the annual interest rate earned by the investment this year was 11%, what was the annual interest last year? So let us suppose the last year interest was A, right? Or you can let it I. So we'll go with A. So he says that the annual interest rate earned by an investment increased by 10%. So it increased by a multiple of 10%. So basically 10% increase is 1.1%. How it is calculated? See, 10% of something is 10%. So this will be 100 plus 10 equal to 110. So this is basically 110 divided by 100. So this is 1.1. So 1.1 of A is equal to, if the annual interest earned by the investment this year was 11%. So 1.1% of the previous year investment is equal to 11%. Right? So A will be equal to, previous year investment will be equal to 11% divided by 1.1, isn't it? So this is 11 by 100 into 11, removing this decimal point, it will be having 10. So 11 and 11 gets cancelled. Now this will be 10 by 100 into the, to convert it into percentage, we will be having 100 also. So 100 gets cancelled. So this, the previous investment will be at the percentage of 10%. So the right option will be option number D. A total of 5 liters of gasoline is to be poured into 2 empty containers with capacities of 2 liters and 6 liters respectively. So he's saying that 5 liters of gasoline is to be poured into 2 containers which are having capacity 2 liters and 6 liters, such that both containers will be filled to the same percent of their respective capacities. Right? So what amount of gasoline in liters must be poured into the 6 liter container? Right? So let us suppose X liters of gasoline is to be poured into 6 liter container. Right? 6 liter container, and we pour X liters of gasoline. So total is 5 liters. So how much can be poured into the 2 liter capacity container? That will be 5 minus X. I have told you that as much as possible you must try to keep the question in one variable. So 5 minus X liters of gasoline will be poured into the 2 liter container. Right? Now the question asks you that it must be poured in such a way that the percentage, their respective percentage, should be equal. Now percentage of gasoline filled in 6 liter container will be X by 6. This is the poured liter of gasoline, and total capacity multiplied by 100 is the percentage. Now this percentage we have been given that it must be equal to 5 minus X is the amount of gasoline poured into 2 liter container divided by the total capacity multiplied by 100 to get the percentage. So this must be equal as per the question. This equation must be equal. Right? So this is in terms of percentage. We can cancel 100 from both sides. 2 can be cancelled, and this will be X by 3 equal to 5 minus X. This implies taking 3 to other side, we will be having X equal to 15 minus 3X. Shifting 3 minus 3X to this side, this will be 4X equal to 15, or X will be equal to 15 by 4. Right? So in next fraction it will be 4 into 3 12 plus 3 15 by 4. So since you have been asked for 6 liter container capacity, how much liters, and we have suppose it to be X, so X is 3 by 4, so option will be option number C. Now we'll do some analysis for this question. See, 15 by 4 liters has been poured out of 5 liters into the 6 liter container. So 5 minus 15 by 4 is the amount which will be poured into 2 liter container. So this is 20 minus 15 by 4. So this will be 5 by 4. Now 15 by 4 divided by 6 should be equal to 5 by 4 divided by 2. So this implies 15 by 4 into this will be 6 by 1 or 1 by 6. So 5, 3 5s are 3, 2s are, so this will be 5 by 8, this portion. 5 by 4 into 1 by 2, this is also coming 5 by 8. So this is the check part where we can check that whether our solution is right or wrong. So you see, multiplied by 100, multiplied by 100, you would get the same amount of percentage on both sides. What is the larger of two solutions of the equation x square minus 4x equal to 96? So this is basically a quadratic equation. Now let us dive deeper into quadratic equation. The general form of quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, where a is the coefficient of x square and a should never be equal to 0. If it is 0, then it ceases to be a quadratic equation. It will become a linear equation, right? Now we know the formula for calculating this is, first of all, we need to find discriminant, which is equal to under root of b square minus 4ac, right? Now here x will be equal to minus b plus minus under root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. There is one more condition, that b square minus 4ac, if it is greater than 0, then we have real and distinct roots, means real roots and they are distinct roots. But if it is equal to b square minus 4ac is equal to 0, then we have real and equal roots, same roots. If b square minus 4ac is less than 0, then this will become negative and we will have imaginary roots, right? Now x square minus 4x, taking minus 96 this side, so this will be equal to this. So we know there is one method, splitting the middle term. How we split the middle term? We must have product equal to, see, we have a in this case is 1, b in this case is minus 4, and c is equal to minus 96. Either you can do it from this formula or we do it with the help of splitting the middle term. So we need minus 96 as the product and minus 4 as sum. So in this case, that can be achieved through the product of x 12 and 8. But we need to take care of the sign. See, here it is minus 4. So we'll be having minus with the bigger term, so as to get minus 4x. So I will write the x square minus 12x plus 8x minus 96 equal to 0. So minus 12 into 8 is minus 96, which is the product. Had it been there with some other value, let us suppose here it would be 2x square, then minus 96 into 2 should have been the product, right? So now x will take common, so we have x minus 2, 12 inside, plus 8 here side common, and we know that 96 is equal to 12 into 8. So x minus 12. So x minus 12 can be taken common and we will be having x plus 8 as another value. Now for this to be equal to 0, if we have a dot b equal to 0, either a should be equal to 0 or b should be equal to 0. So x minus 12 should be equal to 0 or x plus 8 should be equal to 0. So from here we get the value of x equal to 12 or x equal to minus 8. So these are basically the two solutions, or we say roots, solutions of this equation. Now the question asks you which is the largest or larger of the two solutions. So obviously x equal to 12 will be the larger, as minus 8 is on the negative side. So our right option for this question will be option B. Thank you. Today's lecture is only up to this point. Okay. For GMAT, I tell you the most important is you must increase your critical reasoning and logical deduction from the statements.